Do I feel good today? What is up, DTL Universe? Can I just say how much I love our OGs in our chat? Jesse, Elliot, hitting that like button on the way in. My man Rick saying, good morning, degenerates. That's exactly how I feel. All of our OGs, all of our degenerates, and of course, all of you watching on Stadium Live. We are live every single weekday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We get your sports and sports betting day started off right. I'm your boy, the coach, and we were coming off a busy weekend at the brand. And whether you watched us live yesterday morning and last night on Primetime Live, we had a bunch of wins. I had a bunch of bad beats, but collectively, as we look at yesterday, here's exactly what went down. Everybody, except your boy, 33 points in the first half. Kirk Cousins, 3 interceptions, but that's all right. If you watched Primetime Live last night, AB gave you Najee Harris longest rush. Oh, we also had 3 others. How about the over in the baseball game? Hashtag it pays to watch live. Now, we've got a ton of content, and today is one of our busiest days. Easiest thing to do, hit that subscribe button, and then hit that notification button. And every time we start a new show, you will be notified. You can join all the amazing people that call themselves OGs. But also, if you want to become a crew member, you can do that too. We also have a brand new podcast every single day, 20 to 30 minutes in the morning. And my man, my partner who started it all, just all that stuff I just said, less than 9 months ago. AB, what a weekend. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, man. Great weekend. Karma hit last night for somebody. We're going to talk about that.
Okay, that's quite the tease. All right. Now, every single day, we love to do things together. What is the Howie Schraub crew play of the day, AB?
Yeah, we got 2 NFL games tonight. You got the Ravens, -3.5, against the Bucks, +3.5. Or you go on the Chargers, -1, against the Cardinals, +1. Polls in the chat. Vote now. Update as we always do at the end of the show.
And do not forget tonight, DTL Primetime Live right here on Stadium as well. And because of the start times, it's pretty cool, AB, that we'll have a full hour before the 2 games start. So we'll be able to break down both in real time. Also, by the way, Dodgers, Yankees, that is your World Series Game 1 Friday in LA, about 60 miles where I'm sitting right now. AB, we got the best crew in the business. We got a lot to get to. If you don't mind, it's time for the picks. All right, look who I've got today. It's an embarrassment of riches. Let's start with the man from South Florida, who is probably the man I'm most jealous of in the crew every single week. He is the Z-Man. Good morning, Z.
Coach, every Sunday, it's 3 hours of my life that I'm never going to be able to get back. I got to sit through these Miami Dolphins, that garbage, for 3 hours every Sunday. There's nothing I can do about it. There's going to be a point in my life I'm going to be on my deathbed, and I'm going to say to myself, if I could only have those 3 hours every Sunday back, I'd have so much time with my beautiful family. But here we are.
If we get that here, what are we going to get in Monday mishaps coming up in about 14 minutes? Next, he is the man from the Dirty, and he's been all over, just starting to pick up steam on the pitch. Big Chuck, good morning, sir.
Morning, Coach, crew. We closed another strong week, especially in the soccer world, and now we have a ton of new opportunities ahead of us. I'm really excited to get this one going.
Damn it, so am I. The league season is back. And finally, he is our numbers guy. Anything numbers, he has you covered. Rafael Esparza. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. I want to give a shout out to my twin brother today. It's his birthday. So today's his birthday. He watches the 3 o'clock show. Not the one because he's working right now, but he watches the 3 o'clock version on Amazon Prime. So happy birthday.
I love when we say we're on Amazon Prime twice a day, live at 10 a.m. Eastern, and then at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on Stadium and Amazon Prime, YouTube TV. We are everywhere, and we freaking love it. Now, tonight, and I'll be honest with you, I love the double Monday night games. I love that ESPN and the NFL has done it. So, AB, game number 1 tonight, it should be a really good one. The Ravens going on the road to Tampa to take on a Bucs team that just scored 51 points in their last game. So as we look at game number 1 and the total sitting at an even 50, is this kind of a trap spot for the Ravens a little bit?
It's a weird game. And first off, Raphael wishing a happy birthday to his twin brother would mean, Raphael, happy birthday, buddy. Right
Oh,
there.
shit. I didn't even think about Oh, my God. Thank you, AB. Holy cow.
And that's the kind of insight that you're going to get tonight, 7 p.m. Look, I find it fascinating. We saw the Bucks. I mean, Baker Mayfield threw 3 picks last week. It also scored 50-plus points, right? I roll with the over. Like, the Ravens' defense is good, but it gives up a lot of points, and they also score a ton of points. I just see a lot of points being scored tonight, man. See it being a fun game.
It does kind of feel that way, AB. And Z, let me come over to you, because as I look at the standings, if the Bucks can win tonight, you take all the betting out of it for a second. If they win tonight, they will be 5-2 and have a 1-game lead in their division, which I don't know if anybody expected that prior to the season starting.
Yeah, I like the home team here. The Ravens, tremendous job, 4 straight wins after that 0-2 start. So essentially, they're the team that we thought they were. But I'm dead wrong about the Buccaneers. Before the season started, that NFC South I thought was the Falcons to run away with. My God, the Falcons yesterday. Give me a break. But this Bucs team, they're clearly the best team in the NFC South. I didn't think they were going to be any good this year. They won 9 games last year. That's nothing to write home about. But you were, like AB said, in a week where Baker Mayfield can throw 3 interceptions, he also throws 4 touchdowns that game. All right. Baker Mayfield's a legit winning quarterback in the NFL. I like the home team here. Monday Night Football. The Ravens have won 4 in a row. They're not going to win every game. I'm going with the Buccaneers.
Second straight night that the road team has been the favorite going into a primetime game. And we saw how that worked out for the Jets last night. Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, and the crew. So, Raphael, let me come over to you, because the Bucs have now proven, and Baker Mayfield has now elevated his game to where not only do you look at the Bucs, you look at his props, and you look at him as a really good leader now.
Yeah, and I'm going opposite. I kind of like the Ravens in this spot. The road team the last 2 weeks have been dominating. They're 12-1 straight up and 12-1 against the spread. And I know Baker had a fantastic game against the Saints, but us 5 could have beat the Saints that day. So I'm going with the Ravens on this spot. I think we're going to see a run-happy Ravens team. So I'm going opposite. I think the Ravens pull this one off. I'm still not 100% sold on the Tampa Bay defense.
Wow. Taking 3 and the hook on the road. Big Chuck, do you agree with Raphael?
First, happy birthday, Raphael. That one caught me off guard. I had to think about it for a second. I do not, unfortunately, I do not agree with the birthday boy. I think Zaslow and AB hit it right on the head. I think we're going to see points, and I do like Tampa in this spot. The Ravens coming in, I think it started out closer to 5 now. We're at 3.5, so it has trended down a little bit. But I think this is the spot where Tampa Bay comes out and kind of flexes their muscles. And I thought they would regress also this season. I did not see them being as competitive as they are, but hats off to them. So we should see a good game, high scoring, and I definitely like the home team to put up their share of points.
Shout out to Jared in the chat. He said Ravens might struggle. They've been allowing a ton of pass yards and really haven't played good passing defense. Jared, good take by you. All right, we've got to get to our picks because we have a ton. We have 2 games today. So, AB, let me come over to you, big boy. Where are we starting?
We'll start the NFL. 2 props here. 2 running backs. That's what I like tonight. Derrick Henry, over 1.5 receptions. Yeah, not rush attempts, receptions in the air, plus 155. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, and I think that you're going to see Derrick Henry do Derrick Henry things, but they're also going to use him in the air, not just on the ground. And then on the other game, Chargers, all right, Cardinals. J.K. Dobbins, Chargers running back, anytime touchdown, minus 120. I don't know how much I trust the Chargers, but I do trust Dobbins, and he can get in the end zone, and I like him to do it. I like them being safe in the red zone.
I actually have the Chargers I made on the morning show Sunday morning on the money line. I wanted to take the points out of it. I do like them tonight. Just because of what I've seen the last couple of weeks. So I like him tonight. I love Dobbins tonight. Love Dobbins tonight. AB, thank you very much. Now, the Lord in the chat says, I love Lamar longest rush. Well, Raphael, you don't have his longest rush, but you do have his rush attempts. You're up.
Yeah, I do love his rushing attempts. I think he does a lot through the ground, not through the air, just the way the Tampa Bay is probably going to pressure the stopping the long ball going on there. So I like his rushing attempts. He's hit double digits in 2 of his last 3 games. I think Lamar Jackson has a big game on the ground. 3 out of the last 4 times this prop has cashed. And then I'm going against everyone on the panel. They all like the over. I like the under in this game. It's my birthday. I can do what I want. So give me the under on this one. Tampa Bay's last 6 Monday Night Football games, 5 of them have gone under the total in their last 11 home games. 8 of them have gone under the total. I think road team wins first Monday Night Football, and I think the home team, Call of Duty, wins the second Monday Night Football.
I hate to go against the birthday boy, but man, oh man, oh man, I agree with AB. I agree with everybody. There's going to be a lot of points. But Raven says Lamar dominates NFC teams 20-1. We need to double check that number. If that's true, that's something to think about. All right, that is true, Charles. Yes,
That is correct, sir.
all right. And Tampa, as we all know, is an NFC team. All right, Z-Man, you have one play. It's both games. Tease me. Tease me.
There you go, Coach. We're going to play the teaser tonight. I like it. We're going dogs both ways here. So we're going the Buccaneers. We're going to tease that up to plus 9.5. And we're going to tease as well the home team in the other game, the Cardinals, plus 7.5. Obviously, we love the 7.5 number there, just in case they wind up losing by a touchdown. So I love this. Both home teams, I'm getting a ton of points at minus 120, 6-point teasers. You know that's how it works. But I feel really good about both these.
I love the fact that you look at what Z-Man was able to do. They're half a points. If you're new to sports betting, this is a place we love to educate and entertain. And in a teaser, if it hits the number exactly, that's a loss.
Yeah.
So you got to play, or we recommend playing numbers that are on half a points, just like what Z-Man did right there. Thank you, Z. All right, now, Big Chuck. Now that the leagues are back, normally they like to schedule things like the NFL. They'll may have one game on Friday, a bunch on Saturday and Sunday, and one game on Monday. And the English Premier League is where we're headed to today. You're up.
Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace. These two teams sit 12th and 18th in the standings, which makes them desperate for maximum points. I'll take the both teams to score that is cashed in 58% of these clubs' matches this season. Next, Mike Evans, over 51.5 receiving yards. He comes in averaging 52 receiving yards per contest, and he tends to get up for these primetime games against the Ravens defense, who have had their issues with top receivers. I love Mike Evans to get 52-plus receiving yards in the big sombrero.
All right, very good. This man is a stud. And you remember when we had Coach Phil on? Shout out to Coach Phil. He loved Mike Evans. Quick correction from Raven. Lamar is 22-3 against the NFC. So regardless of the exact number, he plays really good football against the NFC. Also, a couple people love Z-Man's play with the teasing it up. AB, when you've got underdogs at home, it almost feels like you have to tease it up the way this season has kind of been laid out. We got about 30 seconds.
Yeah, it really does. It's been a great NFL season because it really is proving that it's a week-to-week league. It's a matchup league, man. Like, you can't count on any win whatsoever. Also, Z-Man spoke about Sundays and it being ruined by the Dolphins. Were you a Titans fan? Because I'm going through hell too. It sucks, man.
I mean, but you didn't have any expectation.
That's true. That's true. That's very true.
That's true. My expectations were bigger than your expectations. Oh, and they all suck.
That means my suffering matters more.
I would love to feel what you guys are feeling, but my squad, I think they won yesterday. And in fact, I think they're the only undefeated team left in the entire NFL. Interesting. And yet I still don't see Big Cheesy in the chat. He's got to come back at some point. All right, still to come. We're just getting started on a glorious Monday morning. We've got Monday mishaps. We've got the second Monday night game. Just getting started. DTL live on Stadium. All right, all you degenerates out there, as we continue on our YouTube page. So many storylines that went down. But last night, Sunday Night Football, I was a little bit shocked, to be honest with you, AB, that the Steelers came out, played as well as they did, and Russell Wilson played really good football last night. clearly Mike Tomlin made the right choice.
He did, man. And look, you got to give credit to Russ because they were booing his ass in the first quarter. The whole stadium was. You know what they weren't doing at the end of the game? Yep. That booing stopped, didn't it, Haas? Yeah, they enjoyed it. And you know what? Karma hit for Aaron Rodgers. Two things in life you don't do. You don't count other people's money. You don't get people fired. Aaron Rodgers, that the team appeased a jackass of a human being, of a quarterback, and fired a good man and got rid of Robert Saleh. And how'd that work out for you? How'd that karma work out for you? Y'all having fun now? Go back to Egypt. Yeah, I'm sure that trip was worth it.
All right, Z-Man, your take on last night and Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. He kept getting stopped time after time after time.
I think Mike Tomlin's coach of the year. I really do. Going into this season, it wasn't realistic to say that the Steelers are going to be contending in the NFC North, which is exactly AFC North, which is exactly what they're doing. But on top of that, it's not an easy situation with the quarterbacks, all right? And he handled it perfectly. I mean, you want to talk about a coach pushing all the right buttons. They go with Fields early on. The door was opened up to him, obviously, because the Russell Wilson injury there. But you go with Fields. You stick with him for the first 6 games. He goes 4-2. That's terrific. And Tomlin still has the guts to say, all right, we're 4-2, but I think we could be better. I think we could be better at the quarterback position. And then goes with Wilson, and they score 37 points against a Jets defense, which is supposed to be all world. I think Mike Tomlin, it's coach of the year right now.
Well, right now they're 5-2, and you've got a quarterback who was benched, who actually admitted that he probably should have been benched because he should have played better. The whole situation had like a kumbaya to it, and they get the dub in a major, major way last night on Sunday Night Football. We return on Stadium in just 5 seconds. All right, welcome back to Stadium, a live Monday morning DTL. Do not forget, we also replay at 4 p.m. Eastern time to get that kind of block getting started. And then tonight live at 7 p.m. Eastern time, it's prime time and live as we count down to not 1, but 2 Monday Night Football games as well. Now, this is the time of the week where I just let my guys cut loose. So many good things happen, but there's also some mishaps when you're talking about football or any other sport over the weekend. But what's the mishap that has my guys going the most? AB, big boy, let's start with you.
The Tennessee Titans were beating the Buffalo Bills in the first half. All right, they go into halftime feeling good. All right. Yep, the Buffalo Bills scored 34 unanswered points. The Titans came out with the ball in the second half, went for it on 4th down like a buffoon, didn't get it, and then it was just all Bills all the time. Yeah, man. The Brian Callahan, the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, probably first time you've heard his name. He's a buffoon.
We start with buffoons on Monday mishaps. All right, Z-Man, what is your mishap today?
All right, so I'm in Austin this weekend, right, for ESPN Radio College Football Tailgate, which I host every Saturday morning. We were in Austin, Texas, Georgia, Texas, biggest game of the year, number 1 versus number 5. Anyway, so I'm flying back. I'm flying back from Austin to Fort Lauderdale. I'm flying Southwest. I haven't flown Southwest in 20 years, all right? So I'm a little bit anxious about this whole open seating situation. I don't want to be stuck in the middle between two, large persons. That's a disaster of a flight. But forget about that part. I get onto the flight. I got my aisle seat, thank God, #blessed. But I sit down there. Not only are there no televisions, okay, I have an iPad, but there are no chargers. There are no chargers on this plane. My iPad and my iPhone, I'm coming from working the whole day. My iPad and my iPhone, they're almost dead. I'm about to have to raw dog this entire flight. I mean, everybody knows what raw dog on the flight is. That's when you just sit there and you stare. There's nothing for I'm going to have to raw dog this whole flight. Thank God I remembered. I also have my laptop, and my laptop was fully charged. So I break this bad boy out, and now I'm able to use the Wi-Fi on that. I don't have to raw dog. You never want to raw dog on a flight. So I ended up saving the trip there. But who doesn't have chargers on their planes anymore? This is the year 2024. Was there a smoking section in front of the plane as well? What's going on?
I put it in my contracts, whoever I work with now, I will not fly Southwest. Period. End of story. And one of these days when I have time, I'll tell you the funniest Southwest story you will ever hear. I do not have time right now, however. That's quite the tease. All right. AB and Z-Man, they had some issues this weekend, clearly. All right, Big Chuck, Charlie, what is your Monday mishap?
We go to the ATL where we had 48 points with over 7 minutes left. Kirk Cousins is driving. What does he do? Throws an interception. Falcons, they get the ball back with over 4 minutes left. What do? They put Michael Penix in, and they decide to run the ball out and run the clock out with over 4 minutes left instead of driving down. Well, I know it's selfishly to help us get the over, but at least turning loose and see what he has. So, it was kind of frustrating to see them just sit on the ball with over 4 minutes left and then run it out and run the clock out, and the game ends on a whimper.
On a whimper. Raphael, talk to me.
I'm going to go to New York. Yes, the Yankees are in the World Series. No, the Mets are not in the World Series, so my birthday wish came true, no Subway Series. But why are you booing Saquon Barkley? He wanted to be a Giant. He wanted to stay there. He said it multiple times. You guys are the reason, not you guys, but the management are the reason why he's not there anymore. Yes, I know he went to the division rival. Boo-hoo-hoo. Get over it. He wanted to stay there. You shouldn't have booed him yesterday. He wanted to stay there. Fantastic game he had yesterday. And what's he do after the game? He's hugging everybody. He doesn't care that you guys are booing him. Give Barkley a break. He wanted to stay there. You didn't want him. You kicked him to the curb. He went to a division rival. Get over it. Hats off to Barkley. Great game yesterday.
All right, some of you out there, he did have a great game yesterday, and he took the high road after the game as well. Apparently, AB loves Southwest, but don't fly Spirit. Spirit has all those hidden, they have the hidden fees. You get on, you got to pay for a carry-on, which is the most ridiculous thing of all time. So
pay for a carry-on, you got to pay to breathe the air on the Spirit flight.
I know. All right, my Monday mishap is this, I'm tired of head coaches, especially in college, saying this is this guy's job when he comes back. I've been saying it for weeks, and nobody agreed with me that Ewers should not come back and that Archie Manning should be the starting quarterback moving forward against the rest of the season. And they didn't do that. And what happened? You had to bring Archie Manning in off the bench as Z-Man's watching that live. And he had 1-2 series. That's not enough to get a flow. And Georgia pounds number 1 Texas at home. Ewers is not healthy. He's not in a role. He's not even close to out of the rust area. And right now we're talking about rankings. We're talking about positions in the playoffs. I don't like it when they just hand back, when you got, to me, a first-round draft pick sitting on your bench that has played great, and then you bench him, and then that happens and you lose to number 5 Georgia, who's now number 2. That's my big coaching mishap of the weekend. Now, gentlemen, speaking of injuries, a lot of injuries on Sunday, and we're going to start with the big one in San Francisco because this happened against the Chiefs. 49ers, they went to the Super Bowl a year ago. Remember we talked about it? Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, they didn't want to pay him. And they did, and now they fear a torn ACL, and so it gets worse and worse for the 49ers. Where do they go from here?
It's brutal, man. I mean, they're just having injuries left and right. Hopefully, they're going to get Riley back, the first-round pick out of Florida for gunshot wounds. And apparently he's coming back faster than McCaffrey, so McCaffrey must be really hurt here. Man, windows are short in the NFL, dude. Like, I hate it for him because I love Kyle Shanahan. I love him, but windows are short, dude. And you're going to have to make a decision on your quarterback now, too.
Yeah, they are. I mean, and I don't blame him for the way he played yesterday. He's just not on the same page. He had some bad interceptions. Z, let me come over to you, because this is why a lot of people say wide receivers should not get that $35 to $40 million, because they're like running backs. They can go down like that, and then you're stuck. And now the 49ers are stuck.
Yeah, there aren't. You look at the past Super Bowl champions, and there's not usually a team that has the star wide receiver. All right. And I understand with the Chiefs, Travis Kelce, he's a tight end, okay? And even we saw last year, like, they were doing it with smoke and mirrors at the wide receiver position. If you have the star quarterback, that's what you need. You don't need to then spend all the money on the wide receivers. So maybe that winds up meaning that San Francisco, by spending all the money on Ayuk, maybe they don't believe that Purdy is a star quarterback. I don't think that's the case. Purdy's going to get his money this offseason. I likely wouldn't have paid Ayuk what San Francisco paid him. If you believe you have a star caliber quarterback, you don't need to be paying all the receivers, Debo, Ayuk, George Kittle. You don't need to be spending all of that money on that side of the field. It's why I love so much what Kansas City has done. And I understand Patrick Mahomes is all world, all right? But when you have a great quarterback, spend all the money on the other side of the football and let your quarterback bail you out of tough spots. I love the way Kansas City is. Like, this is a new version, which started last year, of course, of the way Kansas City is winning football games. It really started when they moved on from Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I felt this way a lot of the preseason when we were spending so much time on Ayuk, and it's proven to be right, but we hate that it's because of an injury. Jaden Daniels, Raphael, let me come over to you. Commanders still won yesterday, 40-7. Marcus Mariota came in, and his post-game press conference or interview was amazing. He was talking about how great Jaden Daniels is as a young quarterback. Now, he's going to have further tests today on the rib injury, which could really hurt the Commanders because in first place and playing that well and the defense, this one really hurts.
Yeah, it does, because the Eagles, I know everyone keeps on saying they should fire their head coach, but they won again. And what's the best thing to do in the locker room to cure some of that cancerous? You win games. So you have to keep an eye out for the Eagles now. But yeah, that devastating injury for Washington. Anytime a quarterback has a rib injury, that's usually something, because when you're throwing the ball, you're turning your side to side. So that affects the ribs a lot. That could be probably maybe 2 to 3 week out if his rib injury is maybe cartilage or muscle damage. So it's sad to see that he's playing well. I finally jumped on that bandwagon. I hated to see it, but heads off for Marcus Mariota. He's been in that situation with Daniel, so I love the praise that he gave yesterday in his press conference.
Such a great dude. Such a great dude. Yes, AB.
Real quick, I just want to say Marcus Mariota is one of the best human beings in the NFL. He's a phenomenal dude. His time in Tennessee, he handled it with class. And go look at the video of Derrick Henry, all right, last week or the week before, when he went and found Mariota. I've never seen Derrick Henry speak more than 2 words in his life, and he grabbed him and hugged him. He was like, I miss you so much, man. Like, Mariota is a great dude. Great, great dude.
That's why you have good locker rooms, and that's why he's always had that reputation. And he talked about the entire locker room yesterday, Charles, about how good this team is and how much they've come together in a very, very short period of time. So even if Daniels is out for a few weeks, it feels like that the whole locker room is in this thing together.
Correct. I think that Mariota is the perfect gap to get them between. But this is the worry that we have with Jaden Daniels is him running. We're always worried that he's going to get injured, especially in the NFL. So I hope that he takes the necessary precautions to stay safe, get down beforehand out of bounds, because if he continues this, he'll have a shortened career. So hopefully this will be a lesson to him that he needs to be a little bit more cautious. This isn't college. This is the NFL.
And this also is a big reason why you've got to have a second quarterback, and that's why they're paying these backups $5 to $10 million a year instead of just the 2 to 3 that they used to make. All right, I've only got about 30 seconds left, 40 seconds. Z, let me come to you, because Deshaun Watson, we talked about it, that the Browns needed to move on from him and his guaranteed contract. Well, I don't like to see it this way, but that video, it snaps his Achilles tendon. He's going to be out, and now Jameis Winston will be the starter, which is what Browns fans wanted. I just don't like to see anybody get hurt.
I mean, it solves their short-term problem because everyone in the world knows that Jameis Winston gives them a better chance of winning football games than Deshaun Watson. But long-term, it's a total disaster. It doesn't help their situation. They can't cut him. No one's going to trade for him. So it's a short-term fix that they don't have to play Watson anymore. But long-term, they're still in a terrible, terrible spot.
They really are. This whole salary cap situation, when they signed Deshaun Watson to a fully guaranteed deal, not only did it shock the entire NFL world, but it was one of those situations where you had an owner that you couldn't tell him that he did anything wrong. And meaning as far as signing Deshaun Watson. And now moving forward, the Browns team, not only do they stink right now, but they're going to stink moving forward for several years. This one really hurts in a lot of different ways. All right, still to come. We're about halfway through DTL on a Monday morning. We've got the second Monday night game. Also, educate and entertain. It's DTL live on Stadium. All right, we continue on, you degenerates out there, on our YouTube channel. And I got to tell you, with all of the NFL storylines that happened this weekend, and you look at them, AB, there are some that kind of just under the radar just a little bit. And the Lions-Vikings game yesterday, the Lions proved down double digits against the only undefeated team left in the NFC that they've got resiliency. They scored 21 straight. Then they go down again. I thought the Lions showed me a lot in just 60 minutes.
Absolutely. And especially, I mean, the Lions, look, we spoke about it too. They came out and immediately went for a fake punt to try to get it. Dan can't, like, they didn't get it, and the Vikings ended up scoring, right? But I love the attitude, and I just love this team. Like, their heart is there, man. Their grit, and nothing against the Vikings either. Like, we get to see it again. It's going to be awesome. We get to see that game again. They played twice, obviously. I can't wait. Two great
These
teams.
are the games that we love, AB. They really are. Raphael, I'm going to come to you quickly. We knew the NFC North would beat each other up. These are the games I love to watch. This was awesome. 60 combined points.
Yeah, and then you throw in the Packers won this week and the Bears won this week. So that division is just so fun to watch. I hate to see not one of these teams not make the. I want all four to make the playoffs. Just how well this division's going. But game of the day yesterday was the Lions Vikings. There's no other close game besides that. Was a fantastic game to watch.
Z, I got about 30 seconds on Lions Vikings, sir.
I mean, one of my favorite things to do after some of these wins, I like watching the videos on social of the coach in the post-game locker room, in the locker room celebration, because I love Dan Campbell. He's my favorite. I love watching the footage of Dan Campbell in the locker room after the game celebrating with the team. And it's a very likable team and a very likable coach.
It really is. He's growing on me. And I think the only but that resides with me when it comes to the Lions and Dan Campbell is, can he figure out in the playoffs and really in the regular season too, what he needs to do when you kick field goals, game management. That's the only thing he needs to work on. That's it. Love him. We're back on Stadium in just 5 seconds. All right, welcome back to Stadium. We are live every single weekday morning. So excited about this new partnership here during the football season. We're on Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, Roku TV, the Stadium app, watchstadium.com. We also repeat at 4 p.m. Eastern time, starting that block in the afternoon. And it ends, with us on DTL Primetime Live at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And tonight, we've got 2 Monday night games to count down to. And AB, game number 2, well, it's got a team that thinks they're a playoff team, and then they got a team that I believe has a quarterback who quits when he gets behind in a game. It's the Chargers. It is the Cardinals, and I love the Chargers on the money line. I don't even like that 1 point. I think they win this game on the field.
This is going to be a fascinating game. I don't know how much that I trust the Chargers, even though I love Jim Harbaugh. The Cardinals are good. Like, they're a good football team, but you're right. There are issues. If they're down in the second half of games, man, they have problems. And it starts with the quarterback position. God, I don't know what to do with this game. Like, as a bettor, honestly, I don't know what to do with this game. I really don't.
I know what I'm not going to do, and that's play the over, Z, because at 44, it's like a blinking red light right now. And I could see the Chargers doing what they did a week ago against the Broncos, go up 20-0 and just suck the air out of the game. Or I can see the Cardinals, who've had some shootouts this year as well. Your thoughts?
Oh, I don't think we're going to see a lot of points in this game. The Cardinals not a very good team, and the Chargers love to run the football. That's Harbaugh's style, and I think they're better for it actually this year. But I think this is a game that's played in the high teens, low 20s for most of the night. It's why I love the Cardinals tonight. It's why I love the Cardinals with the points and the tees. So I like the home team in this spot. I don't think we're going to see a ton of points.
I tend to lean that way. Raphael, you're my numbers guy. You know what all the numbers say when it comes to primetime games. How do you feel for this one?
Ben Stay bet the under, but I'm going against the under, and I'm going against you two. I like the over. I think we see points scored in this one. The last 11 home games the Cardinals have played, 9 of them have gone over the total, and I think Call of Duty is going to have a decent game on TV. So I'm going to take the Cardinals. Like I said, I think the road team wins the first game. The home team wins the second game. I like Arizona. I'm hoping to get plus 1.5 or maybe even 2. Money's been coming in all morning on the Harbaughs. So I'm hoping we can get a better number by kickoff.
Oh, so you're saying the public agrees with your boy, the coach. That's basically what you're saying, Raphael. Why don't you say it like that? Why don't you say it like
I
that?
could, but sometimes the public is wrong.
Very true. Very true. Big Chuck, let me come over to you. This was basically a pick 'em, and that's why I played the money line. This line has moved all over the place, but even though I'm a Chiefs fan, I love to take those AFC West classes off and look at what I'm watching right in front of me. And what I'm watching right in front of me is a Jim Harbaugh style of offense, not to throw it all around like they did before. This is a grind it out. AB loves Dobbins tonight. That's one of his plays. I think they're finding a new identity right before our very eyes.
That's why I like the under also in this spot. I think it's going to be a highly contested game. Few opportunities for touchdowns. I think kickers probably shine in this one. Looking at the kicker props would probably be a way to go. But a higher scoring game will definitely benefit the Cardinals. That'll be more the correlation. So Chargers, if you like them, you want to see an under come in. But yeah, under. And then I mean, I would really it's hard to get with the Chargers. I see it's kind of moved down. I would probably lean with Cardinals and under in this spot, and then look at field goal kickers for props.
All right, very, very good. We'll have full breakdowns tonight on Primetime Live right here on Stadium. Now, there are a lot of other topics over the weekend that tend to get overshadowed by the NFL and college football. That's why we have a little educate, entertain. All right, a couple of shout-outs before we get into this section. Shout out to my boy Big Cheesy for showing up in the chat today and taking it like a man. We own you. We continue to own you, and we owned you in your own house yesterday. But respect, as always, as my bitter rival. Also, our live number this morning is amazing. So there's a lot of new of you, a lot of new fans and viewers. So thank you for checking us out on a Monday. That means a lot to us for sure. Now, speaking of first, the New York Liberty at the Barclays Center, full house, game 5, overtime. You couldn't have anything better than that unless you're the Lynx head coach, Cheryl Reeve. So after losing the WNBA title, this is what Cheryl had to say after the game about the refs.
I thought today was incredibly disappointing. The challenge, we have got to change our challenge rules, and the officials doing the game should have a third party, because that was not a foul. That call should have been reversed on that challenge, because the shit was stolen from us. It's tough to swallow, just like our 2016 championship that was lost, officiating, missing a shot clock violation. This sucks. This is for a championship. Right? For both teams, let them decide it. What contact is legal should be the same for both teams. This isn't that hard. And so it's disappointing. Congratulations to the Liberty on their first championship. Been around, I don't know, how long has the league been around? 28 years? It took them 28 years. Congrats to them. We were that close to our 5th. But these guys, they got to try to pick themselves up and go, we were that damn close. And, it hurts. It hurts.
All right, so after that, AB, after the complaining going back 8 years, it was stolen from us. Oh, then congratulations to the Liberty. Is this a bad look to you? Because it certainly is to me.
Oh, is she talking about things that were stolen from her? She's also the United States women's basketball coach. Yeah, ask Caitlin Clark how that feels of things stolen from them. How's that feel? Huh? She's not wrong, but it's not a good look. But she's one of the best coaches ever in the WNBA. I think she's like 4-time coach of the year. Like, I listen to her. She knows what she's talking about basketball, but it's just tough. It's not a good look, even when you're right. And I don't know how, where the line is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't disagree with her at all, but it's just never a good. It's like arguing with fans. You can't win it.
Well, the reason I disagree with her, it's a series, and she's basically blaming one play. And Z, when you blame one play, when you had a series, you lost 3 full games in that series. That's why I don't like it when coaches do this at the end of a series, boiling it down to one play and then going back 8 years to one other play.
Well, I don't see it that way. Yes, it is a series, but once you get to the final game, like what do we always say when you get to game 7, right? It's one game, it's game 7. How you got there doesn't matter. None of that other stuff that preceded how we got here matters. It's the same thing last night. So I don't see it that way. And I'm with Cheryl Reeve in this. They have their replay system. It's the same as the NBA, or at least it's very similar. And Breonna Stewart gets the inbounds pass. First of all, she took 4 steps when she caught the ball. Not a joke. She took 4 steps when she caught the ball. It was ridiculous. And then she gets fouled going up. They call the foul. Minnesota challenges. And the whole point in the challenge system, NBA, WNBA, is obviously to get the call right? Okay. It would be getting the call right in the biggest moment of the entire season, with the championship literally on the line with 2 seconds remaining. I would think that that's exactly what the replay system is for, is to make sure, A, you get it right, and B, you get it right in the absolute biggest moment possible. And not only are the referees looking at that replay review, the challenge, they see Breonna Stewart took 4 steps, but on top of it, it's not even remotely close to getting any kind of contact. And the referees look at it and say, all right, call stands. It's an abomination the way. I know everyone could say phenomenal WNBA season. It was a great series. The final game was not a good game. That was not a good game last night. But the way that it ended, the way the season ended with that play right there, that league's weird sometimes. And the officiating is poor. And that being the story today, after such a great season, shows you last night was a disaster.
Well, and then I would not disagree with that. My whole point was the congratulating after the fact. I understand she's upset. Get all that, and I don't disagree with anything the two of you are saying. Raphael, let me quickly come over to you. This has not been, in my opinion, a good season for the WNBA. It's been the most watched, and the whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, there was too much drama. Instead of celebrating arguably the best player to ever come into this league, they haven't done that. And to Z-Man's point, it ends last night with more negativity.
Yeah, the play all season long was pretty poor for WNBA. They just had a lot of names and a lot of limelight. But I'm not going to say, how about not getting out rebound 44-33, Lynx? How about not getting outscored in the second half to win the game? I think the only loser was MSG. Why isn't the Liberty playing at MSG? We could have had a national champ. We could have had a championship on MSG's floor since 1973. They don't even play that. That's the biggest loser last night was Madison Square Garden.
All right. Well, speaking of New York, Big Chuck, let me come over to you. Topic number 2 is the Mets lose. So we're not going to have a Subway Series, but I think we're going to have the series that everybody wanted. And I also think it's the series that Fox wanted. Coast to coast, 2 OGs. And right now, game number 1, the Dodgers are favored -135. The total at 8.5. Is this the series that everybody wanted, in your opinion?
This has to be the series everyone wanted. It's been long coming. It's what, since the 70s, the last time they played in the World Series. So I know the suits, the executives, they couldn't be happier. They're going to sell these storylines all week to market this game. We may even get some DTL spots. But yeah, this is a great opening, or a great World Series, and the opening game in La La Land. And I was a little surprised to see the Dodgers such -130 favorites. I thought it'd be closer to -110ish. But yeah, this should be a good one. But I'm also looking at that total. We should see plenty of runs.
All right, I got about 30 seconds, AB. I know you've been all over the totals in the championship series. Do you foresee more runs in this one?
I do, because, the Dodgers pitching is not excellent and the Yankees pitching is not excellent. And both of these teams are hitting at the right time. Also, Minnesota Lynx fans, you should have followed the path that all my dogs down there in Austin, Texas did. Just start throwing stuff on the field. That's how you get calls taken care of right there.
That was quite the reversal in that Texas game. No, pass interference. And then, no, it's not a pass interference. And Sark, stop throwing it. That was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. It really, really was. But in the end, Georgia gets it done. They move up to number 2 in the country, and Oregon moves up to number 1 in the country. And that is how you educate and entertain. When we come back, there's a lot of you that were not here at 10 a.m. Eastern time or at the start of the show, depending on when you're watching it. We got you covered. A little something we like to call the whip around. It's DTL having a great morning right here live on Stadium. All right, all you degenerates out there, we'll continue on. Z, I'm going to start with you because Shohei Ohtani, I saw a stat on social media that he is 18 for 22 the last 22 at-bats with runners in scoring position. If he wins the World Series, are we seeing potentially, let's say the last 50 years, so people don't go crazy, the greatest player of our generation finally reaching the top of the mountain?
He's a good player, Ohtani. He's a good player. And like you mentioned, he's one of the all-time greats. But unless you're going to throw in the caveat, if Barry Bonds didn't exist, then no, we're not watching the greatest hitter of our generation. Now, obviously, you got the pitching aspect along with the hitting. He's not pitching this year. We know that because he had the surgery. But if we're talking about greatest hitter of this generation, Barry Bonds very well existed. You can make the case all you want about the steroids, the performance-enhancing drugs. Barry Bonds happened. Those seasons happened, all right? Those stats happened. And statistically, if you think Ohtani's been great this year, which he has been great. His OPS this year, which is phenomenal on base plus slugging, ranks about 12th best in Barry Bonds' career. So, not trying to take away from Ohtani, but pump the brakes on greatest hitter of our generation. It's Barry Bonds with a bullet.
All right. I didn't say greatest hitter. I said greatest player because of the pitching, to your point.
But he didn't pitch this year.
I know. But he has. Quickly, because we're at a break. Raphael, your thoughts?
I agree Barry Bonds right now, but if Ohtani keeps on doing what he does, he's going to surpass Barry Bonds.
AB?
Yeah, I mean, just everything Ohtani can do. He's Babe Ruth 2.0. But Z's not wrong on Bonds. Bonds could mash, dude. That dude can hit better with anybody.
I think that's the issue. And I'm sorry I don't have time for you, Charles, on this break. But I think that's the bigger issue with what Z-Man said, is that there's a lot of people. I think the farther we get away from the steroid era that understand just how great this guy was. I saw 2 of those 73 home runs during that season. It was like nothing I've ever seen. So can't argue with that at all. We're back on Stadium in just 5 seconds. All right, welcome back. We are live on Stadium and getting your day started off right. What a positive morning. So many topics to get through, and the live number watching right now, can't thank you guys enough. Now, remember, tonight, primetime live at 7 p.m. Eastern time right here live on Stadium, 2 Monday night football games. And I want to put up, producer man, one more time, the full screen graphic, because AB, a lot of people weren't here at the top of the show. And we've got the Ravens and the Bucks tonight. This number, this hour has stayed the same. Do you think throughout the day this thing might go down to 3, or perhaps, crazier things have happened, go up to 4?
I could see it going down to 3 just because of that hook, right? You'll see it back and forth. I'm interested to see where the total goes in the Ravens and the Bucks. That's where I want to watch it. I imagine it's probably going to go up.
Charles, I know you like a lot of points. Do you agree that the total may go north of the 50 number where it sits right now?
I would assume it would get to 50.5, 51 before it went down. I think there's going to be a lot of love for the over in this particular matchup.
If there are a lot of points scored tonight, Z, and Lamar Jackson has had a few games this year where he has gone 80, 90, 100 yards, are the rushing props something perhaps we should look at?
Well, you don't want to bet the under. Betting unders are no fun.
No fun.
Derrick Henry's going to have a stinker at some point. He's not going to be over 100 yards and a touchdown every single game.
Right.
You know, like, I don't feel good about betting an under for Derrick Henry. But again, he's not going to have all pro games every single week. There's going to be a week where he looks a little bit his age and the defense does wind up stuffing him. I don't know that it's tonight. I'm not endorsing it being tonight, but eventually he's going to have one of those games. You used to see it when he was in Tennessee, 15 carries, 41 yards. Like, he's going to have that game at some point.
He's had a couple there. He's done it and then got a really big run late to get that number up. AB, go.
Yeah, I didn't want to like Z made it like he's correct. Like, because I've said the same thing like of his years at Tennessee, and it never happens. He just keeps going. Like, that's the crazy thing with Derrick, man. It's just funny to hear that from like another state, because we've heard that in Tennessee for years. It's like At some point, he has to have a bad game. Yep, 24 carries, 155 yards.
Yeah, it does kind of feel that way, but maybe being this new address, playing with a legit playoff team has rejuvenated him, Charles, just a little bit.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. It definitely looks like he's been rejuvenated, but I'm sure a stinker will come along the way. I don't know if it'll be this week, but I'm sure someone will key in on him and just make the Ravens go away from the run and Lamar beat them. But I don't think it'll be this week in particular.
All right, game number 2, Raphael, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Kind of weird starting time. Normally they do early and then 8:15. They're doing 8:15 and 9. And you got the Chargers who are trying to keep pace in the AFC West. Unfortunately, they're in a division with the only undefeated team left in football. They are a 1-point favorite tonight. Arizona has looked good at times. They beat the 49ers, 11 points in the fourth quarter, and they looked awful at times, like last week. Where do you think we fall tonight?
Yeah, this one will be the least bet Monday Night Football game. We might see 1.5 on the Chargers. I think the public will bet the Chargers just because of Harbaugh and they don't trust Arizona, but Arizona's at home. We could see this total go up to 44.5. On the Ravens games, really quick, we could see a 4 pop up on this one. I don't think we'll go down to 3 just because of money that's coming in on the wise guys on the Ravens, and I think the total goes up. But in this game, I just don't see that much movement on the total, half a point on both sides, side and total.
Z, let me come over to you because it feels like between these two games, you got one that we're so super excited about, and then this one we're just like kind of blah. Am I feeling that the right way?
No, that's okay though. This is why I love the doubleheader Monday Night Football game. And now, granted, this wasn't always supposed to be a doubleheader. Like it was a week or 2 ago where they added a bunch of games to Monday Night Football, and this being one of them. You got the feature game, which we know is Bucks and Ravens. But you know what? If you want to give a look-see or sprinkle a little action on another game as well, it's a free country, all right? I can do what I want. I can pick which game I want to watch. Give me a couple options here. So even if that game's a stinker, nobody's forcing me to watch it. I like having options.
It's kind of like making a bet. Nobody's forcing you. We give them out. Pick what you choose. Use that logic. All right, those are the 2 games tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, live on Stadium on Primetime Live. All right, we got a bunch of picks that we're going to give out right now. A little something we like to call the whip around. This is 10 seconds or less, 1 nugget on each play. AB, let's start with you.
Derrick Henry, he is the governor of the state of Florida. He will handle his business, but we're taking him over 1.5 receptions today, plus 155. Also, J.K. Dobbins, anytime touchdown, minus 120.
Boy, he has been awesome for the Chargers thus far. Big Chuck, coming to you.
EPL, Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace, the both teams to score. That is cashed in 58% of these clubs' matches this season. And Mike Evans, over 51.5 receiving yards. He averages 52 receiving yards. And against this Ravens defense, he should have a big night.
He is a beast. Raphael, my numbers guy. Let's go.
It's my birthday. I'm going to play it under. Give me the Ravens Bucks under 50.5, minus 110. And then Lamar Jackson over 9.5 rushing attempts. I think he has a big game on the ground, minus 130.
And Z, you are bringing both games to the table.
Yeah, Coach, I like both home teams to win the games outright, even though I don't love the Cardinals, but I love them in a tease. So let's go 6-point teaser, Buccaneers plus 9.5, Cardinals plus 7.5. It's minus 120. I feel great about it.
Yeah, the Bucks are the second half of my teaser from Sunday. I had the Chiefs plus the 8, and then I had the Bucks. So I love that side of it with you as well. All right, the Howie Schwab crew play of the day selections. You had them at the beginning of the show. AB, what did the crew choose?
They love in some Ravens minus 3.5 tonight.
Man, that is shocking to me with that hook right there. That hook is screaming to me, but clearly not to the crew. All right, we like to end every single show with Rafi's stat of the day. Raphael, where are we going today, sir?
It's all about that scary hook in the first Monday Night Football game. The NFL road favorites are 12-1 straight up and 12-1 against the spread the last 2 weeks. Why are we looking at the Bucks then? Give me the Ravens. Let's get it now. I think it does move to 4.
Say that again quickly. Say that again.
12-1 straight up and 12-1 against the spread the last 2 weeks, NFL road favorites.
Wow. 20 seconds each. Why do we think that is? AB, go.
It's a league of parity, man. League of parity.
League of parity. Z-Man, why do you think the road teams are playing so well and covering?
Yeah, I don't think there's a reason for it. I think sometimes there doesn't have to be a reason. I think there's randomness, and usually on Monday Night Football, you got two good teams. Same thing tonight, so it's not going to be a shocker if the Ravens wind up winning and or covering this game tonight. I think randomness is okay.
I think it's fantastic. I'm a little shocked that it's 12-1 straight up, Chuck, and against the spread. I think that's what, but you have small road favorites is normally the case also.
That is surprising. So that would usually mean it's smaller spreads like tonight, the 3 range. So that could play a part. So yeah, the randomness, it could just be coincidence. But yeah, that is kind of shocking, the spread and straight up to see both covering.
All right, very good. Real quick, Z, you're only on the show on Monday. So where are we heading this week for you, sir, on your travels?
We actually called an audible. We were supposed to go ESPN Radio Campus Tour, college football tailgate. I host every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We were supposed to be in Boulder, but come on, Colorado, Cincinnati, that game stinks. So we called an audible. We're going to Nashville. Vanderbilt is ranked. They're number 25 now in the country, and they are hosting now number 5, Texas. So we are in Nashville this weekend. I'm very excited.
That's going to be amazing. Check him out every single Saturday.
I'll come find you.
AB called it. AB
Yep.
called it. He said
Yep.
they were looking ahead. Well, now they got him. Can Texas lose 2 games?
Coach,
in a row?
it sounds like a nice little DTL mix between both of us.
It really does. It really does. And with that being said, there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. Look how much we covered today. You got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire crew, love them all. My man from South Florida, Z-Man. My man from the Dirty Big Chuck. My numbers guy, Raphael. My partner, AB, our 5-tool player. And never forget about producer, man. Always behind the scenes, making the show look like $1 million. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about every single day right here on Stadium. It's driving the line. Good luck.